Hi and welcome to another part of the JavaScript tutorials, and in this part we're going to get started with BOM. BOM stands for Browser Object Model, and it is nearly the same as DOM, which stands for Document Object Model. So as the name shows, DOM is for the document and whatever you put inside of the body of your HTML or your document. But BOM is for the browser window and the properties related to that. So in the first part we're going to get started with the simplest kind of code we can write with BOM. So we want to see what is the window in your height and window in your width. So we can write console.log window dot inner width, and also window dot inner height. So let's save this and run this with the live server, and there we go. So let's inspect the elements and move over to console, and as you can see we have 960 and 968 for the browser window. So if I make this bigger and also let me change the size of it and then see if it makes any differences. So now I want to save the code another time, but no change has been made, so the size is fixed and that's it. So now we can work on other properties. Now we want to work on another property called screen.availableWidth, and this is a property that returns the width of the visitor's screen in pixels minus interface features like the window taskbar. So here I can write console.log again in another line. So console.log, and so in here we're going to use the screen dot available, so available width and available height. We can use both of them, and screen dot available height. So let's save this and see what it returns inside of the console. So as you can see, it is 1920 and 153. So this is minus taskbar. So this is just the quality that I'm using minus the taskbar in height. So if I go over to my settings, and here instead of my instead of the display, you will see that the resolution is 9020 and 180, and as you can see it is 9020 and 1053, so 1080, and there is a bit of pixels missing, and that is for the taskbar. So anyway, that is the available screen inner height and inner width. So now let's work on other properties. Also we can work on properties like, so let me console.log the screen dot color depth. So yes, that's the right one, and also pixel depth. So screen dot pixel depth, and so let me fix this one, and okay, let's save this, and as you can see it's 24 and 24 for each one of them. So now let's go over to other properties. Imagine that you want to return the URL of the current page, so then you will use, let me console.log that, and by the way you can return it anyway, so you can use document.getElements by ID and return it on your web page. So for example, let's do that this time so that we will not repeat this boring process of doing console.log. So let me add the p tag with the ID demo and close the tag. There we go. So document.getElements by ID, and then I will use demo, and then dot inner HTML equals to, so here we want to return the URL of the current page, so we'll use window dot location dot href. So href. So let's save this, and as you can see, because this is the local server, it returns the HTTP 127.0.0.1 and colon 5500, and then BOM.html, which is the name of the file of the code. So now we can also work on other properties. We can also return the path name of the current page and also the protocol related to that page. So let me copy and paste it in the next line. So here window.pathname, window.location.pathname. So we have the location, so let's work on the path name and let's save this. As you can see, it only shows the path name, which is a code file name. So now I'm gonna paste this another time, and here we're going to get the protocol. So we need the location and then protocol. So let's save this, and as you can see, the protocol is HTTP. It could also be HTTPS. So we can also do the same thing for the port. So instead of the protocol, I can here write port. And so let's save this, and as you can see, the port is 5500. So now let's do something a bit different. So imagine that we want the page to head over to some specific place. Now in order to do that, we can define a kind of an event such as onClick or mouse over or whatever you want. But here let's simply do that using JavaScript without any event. So window.location.assign, and then open parentheses, and I'm gonna paste in the address of Google. So we should also place it instead of the apostrophe. Oh, here seems to be something wrong, and okay. Now let's save this, and as you can see, we've headed over to the google.com, right? So you can put any address that you like. You can also do this again using the events. So let me comment this line and save this so that we can again oh, we need to run this with the live server one more time because it wouldn't work other way. So now let's define something like an event. So input, and then type button, type equals button, and then value equals to Google. So for example, this is the address to Google, and once the person clicks on the Google, there will be this function which will redirect the user to the google.com. So onClick is the event, and so I can say redirect, which is the name of the function that I'm going to create. So redirect, and here instead of my JavaScript code, I'm going to use, so let me also close the tag. There we go. So now let's define a function, and once that function is activated, then we will head over to that specific page. So redirect, and now open the bracket, and here we should write this line over here. Control X, and okay, so let's paste this and save the code. So if you click on Google, you will be redirected to Google, right? and if you go back, it will be redirected to this page, and then again and again. Now imagine that we want to go forward and backward in the history, so I'm going to place other keys so that it can also be able to go backward or forward. And so for example, if you go to Google and then go backward, then be able to go forward another time instead of clicking on the go forward. So here I'm going to add another event. So let's copy and paste these events, this one event. Let me make this also bigger so that we can have a better control. And let's place BR tags in between here, and then another BR tag. So BR and another BR, so that there's a distance between them. So here for going forward, and this one is for going backward. So also the function is forward, and for this one is backward. Alright, in short I can say back. Okay, so now let's write the functions too. Copy and paste them right over here. Now the first one is forward, but doesn't really matter. The sequence doesn't really matter. So window.history.forward is the property that we're looking for. So history.forward and also history.backward. History.backward. History. Back here. Back is enough. So that's it. So let's make this smaller and save the code. As you can see, we have two other keys. So if I click on forward, you will see that will also be redirected to Google. If I click backwards, because we have no address in the history backwards, then so we don't have that. So let's go to Google. Yeah. Okay, let's see why it is not working. Anyway, let's go forward and click on Google, copy and paste it right over here. And now let's go backward and copy and paste the address of this page and paste it right over here, switch to that. And now you can go backward, and if you click on it, you will be redirected to Google. So let's see why isn't this working. So let me make sure if this is true, this is the correct form of backward. So now the reason is the name of the function here is not defined back, so that's why it's not working. And that's why also Google is not working, because there are two functions with the same name. So now let's save this, and then we can go backward, and that is Google, right? So here let's go forward, click on Google, go back, and then you can go backward, forward, and then Google is where you'll be redirected to, so or any other address you enter. So that's it for this part of the tutorial about BOM, and until the next one, goodbye.